So in this video here, we're going to talk about how to create a campaign in TikTok Creator Marketplace. Um, so a campaign is how you is one of the ways that influencers can find you to work with, and you can also invite them to work with you. Okay. So there's two main types of campaigns. There's an invitation campaign where you've gone through, you found the influencers that you want to work with, whether it's on TikTok or exploring in TikTok Creator Marketplace. You create a campaign, which we're going to go through right now, how to set up, and you invite them to work with you. Um, Sometimes that's what you need to do in order to attract some of the bigger guys. Um, the other way that you can create a campaign is what's called an open application, where you basically say, put a post out there about you, your products, your brands, what you're looking for, who you're looking to work with, and then influencers apply to work with you, and then you review their applications, right? So first thing you want to do is create your campaign. Um, so, oops, I forgot to include a screenshot of it, but basically it's right here, top corner, create campaign. I think it's like on every single page inside TikTok Creator Marketplace. You click that and you choose invitation or open application. I would say probably the best way to do it is, 80% of the time is open application campaigns. All right, and we'll talk more about the invitation ones in a minute. Um, so you'll add your brand to TikTok, right? So when you click this add brand button, keeps on going back too far. Add brand button right here. This little window pops up. So you put your name, industry, a little bit about your brand. You have to include a website, unfortunately. So if you sell on Amazon, you could put a link to your Amazon store. If you have a website, you just put in something. You can't leave it blank this time. Um, are creator collaborations managed by an agency? No. Put up your brand logo if you have one. Any other social media that you might have if you have any. Keeps on skipping pages. All right, so you'll fill that in, and then next we'll fill in the campaign name, right? So when you create a campaign, think of it as you selling an influencer to work with you, right? Um, So you need to come up with, some sort of like catchy name or catchy to help attract their attention. Um, you need some kind of hook. So if you've been selling for a little bit, you could say, and you've had some viral videos, you could say viral video, or if there's something special, unique about your product, brag about your product, right? You need something, some sort of hook to pull them in to want to work with you. Um, you'll probably get people apply to work with you regardless, but it may not be, you may not pull in as many people if you don't have some sort of good hookup there. So it's always good to have one. So for your campaign description, if we've had previous viral videos, we'll frequently include a link to the viral video of their product or similar products, or yeah, it could be a competitor product similar to what we're selling. And what we'll do is we'll tell the influencer we want them to create their version of this product, right? So, or their version of this video, because that video has previously gone viral. So we're trying to recreate that, right? So when you create your time frame, your application period, you want to do 2 to 3 weeks out. Um, you know, Typically we'll do 2. Sometimes we'll do 3 if depending on like how many influencers we need. You want to make sure that you include a campaign banner or an image because uh, people are very visual when they're scrolling through looking at the different campaigns. If if everybody's campaign has an image and yours doesn't, yours is, they're probably gonna skip over you. Or if nobody has an image there but yours does, they're more likely to look at you because people tend to be very visual, and so they want to see pictures of the product. So you want to make sure if you do include a picture, it's a high quality image of the product or lifestyle, but you just want to make sure it's a nice looking product, okay, or a nice looking image. Um, so for sample product description here, you can screenshot this if you want, write it down. But basically we say, hey, we're looking forward to working with you. Our product is viral. Put a link to the video, or we're selling a better version of this product. Here's a link to that viral video, whatever it happens to be. That sold a lot of products for us. We'd like your version of this style of video. Please do not copy this exactly, but use it as inspiration to make a video of in your own voice. Create a video that will connect with your audience, right? So that influencer knows what their audience likes, so we want them to make their version of that video for their audience. Okay. Um, so then once you fill out the campaign, then you have to select the deliverables, right? So you want to put that it's a branded content, so that way you can run Spark. You can boost that post with Spark ads, and we'll talk about ads in other videos. Submit the videos 2 weeks. Typically it'll take a week to 2 weeks for the influencers to turn around and give those to you. Um, and so it takes a little bit sometimes for them to get those videos. Um, Add video guidelines. So you can see I put, please do not say these things. So if you're selling some sort of product, selling a product and you don't want them to make any claims about it, say, please don't say this. Or if there's certain things that you do want them to say, please say these things. And then, we tell them do not use commercial music, because if they use commercial music, then all the volume gets taken off, or all the sound gets taken off, and or we won't be able to boost the post. So we only want music approved by TikTok in their commercial library so we can boost it. Okay. So that's super important. And then we always want to request ad authorization so we can run ads on it for 365 days, right? Sometimes influencers will say, oh, if you want to run ads, you have to pay me more, or they'll only give it to you for 30 days or 60 days, whatever it is. Like, honestly, it's in the influencer's best interest to let us run ads on it, because it's only going to help increase their views. Because we'll use, when we boost posts, we're working with TikTok's algorithm to help increase the reach of that post further organically. And that's kind of one of our tricks and how we rack up millions of views on a lot of our content that we've created. All right, so we're getting the boost code right is super important to be able to really get viral content created and pushed out there. So the next section that you'll fill out is creator preferences, right? So who our audience demographic is, right? So age range, audience location, creator location, right? Obviously in the US. Keywords for preferred creators, hashtags, fitness, nutrition, if it's like something to do with like supplements, right? Um, video categories, we tend to leave this blank. We found it works best to leave it blank. If you have some sort of like creators that you found that you would like to work with, you can put them in here, and it's kind of like it'll help kind of almost create like a lookalike creator audience for you that TikTok will help push it out to. So that can help bring in the type of creators that you're looking for. Engagement rate, we put 10%. Minimum follower count, we put 100,000. Even if you put 100,000, like people with like 5,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 will still apply. A number of creators, we always put 10 plus, because like you'll get like 200 people apply and maybe get like 5 to 10 good ones from it, right? So there's a lot that you have to kind of dig through and scrape through. So we want a lot of people to apply, so that way we have a lot of options to choose from. Okay. And then you can select the payment, right? And how much you're willing to pay. So you can do payments online, offline, or offline and offline. Um, we always recommend starting with online payments. Once you've worked with a creator a few times, then feel free to move them to offline payments. Like most creators will follow through and post things, but like if you don't do it online through TikTok Creator Marketplace, if the creator creates a video that that you don't like, and they never posting it, this way they don't get paid, right? But if you do it outside of TikTok, then you don't have TikTok's assistance with resolving some of those issues. Um, and so for payment, we always do tiered based, right? And we always give them a free product too. So in terms of like what we pay, if you click this little button right here next to proposed payment, TikTok will give you their payment insight. And so we tend to follow this, 50 to 100,000 followers, $75, 100,000 to 500, 150, 500 to a million, 250, a million plus, that's 450 is what we put. Typically million plus, you're looking at like $1,000 or more. Usually, sometimes you get them for less. Um, but this is basically how you create your campaign. It's going to be the same way whether you do an invitation or an open campaign. And if you do an open campaign, you can also invite influencers to your open campaign, right? And so I would recommend starting out just doing open application campaigns. It's really all you need to do starting out. If there's like a certain influencer that you want to work with, our trick to getting them to work with us is, creating in the campaign name, we'll put like their name or like, this is a campaign for, I can't think of any influencers off the top of my head. We'd say this campaign's for blah blah blah, right? Whoever their name is, to really capture their attention that like, hey, this is specifically just for them. Um, and if you do an invitation only campaigns, you can only invite like 20 people a week to it. So that's why we recommend doing most of your campaigns as open campaigns. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. In the next video, we're going to talk about reviewing the campaigns and kind of, those next steps. All right, see you there.